Hello and welcome everyone to a new Wolfish podcast. This is the third episode, and today we have the honor to have a special guest, Dani from WAM here. And it's a pleasure because this is a side story. I know Dani from real life. We are both from Romania, both crazy people in Eastern Europe. And I have to tell you something about Eastern Europeans is that we are not sleeping, we are fucking vampires, and we are working all day, all night. That I know Dani is doing as well. So, welcome, Danny, and introduce yourself for the
Super
podcast.
excited to be here. You're crazy right about the Eastern Europeans, they don't sleep we're doing this 24/7. As you said, we've met quite a few years ago, and it was at the beginning of the bear market, and we shared some experiences ever since, and we got to actually see the progress and really big kudos and props for you guys for what you managed to do with Wolfswap on Chronos. What we do, we started in 2019 with an idea of revolutionizing how people play certain type of games on mobile. And when the 2021 opportunity came and the technology was starting to actually make sense, we saw an even bigger opportunity to actually put this on blockchain. Like gaming, I've been doing gaming since 2007. I went through all the cycles. I've seen how you can get fucked by publishers, by monetization companies. You lose out, you lose access, you lose the money, you lose the community. So we said, okay, fuck it. We're gonna just go dive in, feet first, balls deep. Let's do this on blockchain. And we started out really, really well. And then, as you've seen, as everybody has seen probably in the last 2-3 days, we now know the cause or of why everything is fucked in the past 4 years. Yeah, it's called Jane Street. They've been fucking with the market ever like 4 years ago, and that's what we've been experiencing in more, let's say, poetic terms, a fucking colonoscopy with sand, right? So this is quite the definition, and we've been building and growing in that bear market, and now we're at the fifth iteration of the platform, of the WAM platform, fully built on Chronos. So we joined the crew thanks to you guys and thanks to you specifically, because you put it, you said you're fucking stupid if you don't come to Chronos. So I'm stupid anyway, but this time I decided to listen to somebody who had actual experience. So now we have the fifth iteration of the platform. We're really excited. We have users coming back in their attention, in their mind, and giving us a lot of feedback on how it goes. We made some quite huge and amazing tech progress, and how we use Chronos, and how the user experience should feel. And we have a lot more in the pipeline, which we will talk during this podcast. So
Yeah, I mean, I was I was almost laughing because I think we swear more in this podcast than in our previous episodes in total. But hey, we are Romanians, so we like to put a lot of blood and a lot of passion in what we are doing. And I think you can already see from me and Danny dialogue so far. But man, look, your progress was amazing. I think you won some awards with WAM, and we will get through that as well. And you also have a lot of experience in the market. You launched before it was cool to have a Web3 product, and that's important to point out because I want to draw a comparison between how do you think it was before it was cool to have a Web3 project and now, because now everyone have one or wants to have one.
well, I would do like a raising of hands who actually wants to do a Web3 project like right now, because most likely we will see like 5 people, right? We launched in 2019 with this crazy idea. It came up during a trip to Bucharest. Uh, my co-founder Alex and I were driving. Okay, let's make something with the brand that we have, and we started tinkering with the idea. We raised some funds, like a pre-seed round, traditional Web2, nothing fancy, and we reached to about 2.5 million users in 45 days. We grew quite a bit. We draw a bit of attention, and we started talking with VCs, traditional VCs, but don't take your eyes off the prize. Those the crypto VCs learn their shits from the traditional VCs, so there's not much difference. And we started talking with a bunch of them, and at a point we started talking with Miniclip, and those guys were really awesome. But it took about 6 months, right? So their due diligence back and forth. It was back then I didn't quite understand the purpose of it, but now I do. Yeah, like, okay, how much runway do you have? 8 months. Okay, we're gonna keep you in due diligence for 6, and that was a shitty type of strategy, and we got pissed. And it ended in September 2021 when we said, okay, we're not gonna just play this game. Crypto was here. Somebody told us, okay, why aren't you guys looking at crypto? Because your product with crypto makes a lot of sense, right? And we've seen the crypto movement all to 2021, but none of us were like traders, right? We're in the games, we're in the tech space, and then this is actually what we wanted to build from the beginning, a new tech for publishing games. But the more we analyzed it, we remembered that in 2018, we had our first white paper. We forgot about it, right? We made our first white paper because that is when we actually got in contact with crypto. And back then we identified the same problems that existed in 2021, and they still exist in 2026, right? So we started building towards that goal. And the, let's say, irony was that we grew in the bear market. So things started going to shit. And in the same, by the way, we both have the same fucking God-given talent of launching shit when you're not supposed to, or when a fucking nuclear thing happens and you say, okay, let's do it now. It exactly what the sort of events that happened in our story. And we grew quite a bit, and we learned that it's not necessarily the most intelligent thing to grow a Web3 product in a bear market. Nonetheless, we did it, and we kept pushing until we reached today, where I can say I'm proud of what we achieved in terms of product, in terms of technology development, and in terms of where we're going and what we're bringing to the table.
That's absolutely, I mean, I think, and anyone can quote me on this, but I think WAM has had the most complex technology on Kronos right now, with contracts, with smart accounts, with WAM as gas fee.
Yeah.
So I don't think that other products use that many piece of technologies on Kronos. So here's my question to you next. How much do you think chain influence the success of a project?
Playing what?
No. How much do you think a chain growth influence the success of a project?
Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Of course, it influences the success of a product because everybody's building on that layer, the base layer, the foundation layer. So if the foundation layer is strong, you can build a fucking tall building, right? So if you have a strong foundation, if you have a chain that actually understands what the fuck you're doing, why you're doing it, how good are you at doing it? Have you done it in the past? How was it like? Was that a great opportunity? Right now, I can honestly say that this is my perspective because I've been in games for so long. Games are the best way of bringing people to a new technology, to experiment it without feeling the pain, the anxiety of trying some shit out and not working. Usually, crypto is not working for a lot of people for various reasons. We even see it on the platform. If it's not simple enough, it's our fault. Frustrating, but still our fault, right? So it's the same thing with the chain. The chain, of course, does not guarantee anything. We're not going in that territory because everybody has to do their part. But in terms of, okay, liquidity, who has it and who can bring the most eyes and how they can bring it and where is the authority and legitimacy transfer happening? Of course, it has a lot of punch, and it can carry. And I would say I've seen from the new leadership of Kronos that just happened, and the successful podcast you made 2 weeks ago, that a lot of the past, let's say, past habits are changing, and the way the entire chain is positioning itself, and the leadership of the chain is positioning towards projects building. So you have the infrastructure, you have the electrical grid, but if there are no fucking consumers, it has no worth. So it's the same thing. If you have, like for instance, Kronos chain, there needs to be a lot of dApps. And you've probably seen this. Nobody wants more chains. Nobody wants more L1s. Makes no sense. So
Yeah, you're
now,
right. You're right here.
now we're in the place of dApps, of actual useful dApps. And we're going to get to that WAM token as gas part because it connects to this.
Yeah, and here it's an important point that you mentioned, that we don't need more chains. And just to give a context for everyone who listen and maybe don't know, last year I think there was more than 120 chains launched in 2025. It's not a problem that there are 120 chains, new chains that launched. Problem is that 119 died. And what happened is that I saw last week in a tweet $19 billion, so $19 billion in liquidity is stuck on dead chains. So let's just imagine how much those $90 billion can make a difference in Ethereum on an L1 that is time-proofed, battle-tested, and all of that. So I agree, Web3 went on a way of segregation, separation. I don't know how to put it, but it was bad. And now, as you said, we are coming back to the roots of building something useful, what people actually want to use, not only because of tech, the VCs, numbers, and all of that. So here is what I want to pick your brain on. What do you think? Why do you think the industry went on the road that it went? And why do you think suddenly everything stopped and now we are focusing on products again?
Because people are fucking greedy. This is the fucking definition of why things happen the way that it happened. So, long story short, when we started speaking with crypto VCs before the TGE of WAM token in December 2021, we got the chance to speak with a lot of VCs. And a lot of them told us, we're not going to invest in you because you're not going to do 10,000x. Okay, why? Because you're not infrastructure. We only invest in blockchains, right? So the logic was, I didn't get to invest in Ethereum when it was like 0, but I want to invest in something that promises the same shit or better because it has the chance to go to 100,000x, right? So the main reason is greed. It was not about solving problems, right? It was about capital that is controlled by several entities, finding itself in places where it can grow faster. And who decides this? People. Based on what? Mostly on greed. It's not about utility. You've seen a lot of chains going down, well-funded chains, right? Like really funded chains. And now we have the opportunity of just eliminating the clutter, because you can just imagine users in crypto have a natural tendency to be disgusted about topics like, okay, we're going to see a new chain. We're going to do another thing because it's too much. The market is saturated. You have the 80-20 proportion, like 20% of chains get 80% of the market, right? And the rest fight for scraps. And it's no longer needed. So we have the EVM landscape. You have Ethereum, BNB chain, Kronos, Abstract, whatever others. But after this threshold, they're marginal, right? Now, this is the best opportunity for Kronos, if you ask, like in the void, right? Because being in a position that can leverage high amount of users with a chain that is ready technologically to absorb those users and those transactions immediately provides the best opportunity for growth for everybody that builds on the chain.
Yeah, that's right. And I think Ryan mentioned this that, and I agree with him because we've been working toward this for the past 6 months. The key for growth is distribution. It's no longer tech. You and me both are deep in AI, and we can agree that what's happening right now is crazy, and we could not even imagine this 6, 8 months ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
today, the reality is that anyone can build a website in 5 minutes with a prompt. Hey, build me a website, make no mistakes. Thank you. For cinema. This is the reality. So building distribution, marketing, real connections, because it's important. It's a cliche, but it's important to have real customers, real direct touch with your customers. It's important. Web3 offer this. And now coming back a bit to the roots, WAM did it all. You guys started on BNB. You guys had an ICO back in the days. You had big ads. You had everything for on that time because that was natural. What do you think? What do you see different in today's market versus that period of time?
Let me get this straight. So you're asking, for instance, if I would do the same thing as back 5 years ago.
No, how do you think the market changed? But because back then it was all about flashlights, ads, being front of conferences that we both agree that the fees to that conferences are legal thieveries.
Well, okay, what changed? We're no longer going to conferences. Makes no sense for us. Like literally makes zero sense. If you want to, if we want to meet, we're going to meet in your city or in mine or halfway, drink coffee, sit 6 hours and discuss whatever shit. But in terms of conferences, let's be pragmatic. Okay, where's the business? For us, we're a B2C consumer app on blockchain using crypto, right? It's not at the conference. Most of the conferences offer the opportunity to connect. But here's the thing. We connected with a lot of people, and we for instance, when I was in Dubai in 2024 at Token 2049 and the fucking flood came, the entire conference I would say was pretty much a waste. Most of the VIP people did not come, so it networking wise made no sense, business wise made no sense. Plus our users are the most important right now, right? So if we have users that love the product and we can do a great job in satisfying their needs and based on their feedback, then we can go to whatever conference we want. But until then, we made a promise. Okay, until we have something that we're satisfied with, we're gonna just focus on this, because going to conferences takes time, takes money, takes focus, takes energy. And then you have to come back to the same roadmap that you had before. So instead of just chopping the time off, we skipped it completely. Now, what changed in terms of the consumer perception and in terms of the market? Nobody wants more L1s. That's done, right? Everybody wants it simple and fast. This did not change specifically, but it became more stringent as more people join the crypto side. Back in 2021, I would say the community was smaller and the people were more interested in actually learning what the tech does. But it's also natural as the user base grows, that interest, that in-depth interest about the specific technology, how it works, what are the challenges, what are the dangers, to go down. So nobody actually cares how the chain works. They do care that when they press the button, in a matter of a few seconds, things happen safely, securely, right? So I would say flashy shit means nothing today, which is good. I was never part of the cohort of people that enjoys this, but at the same time, I was proven that the industry still runs on this type of visibility. So even if I don't like it, back then it was like you had to do certain types of activities, right? Now people want, for instance, less fatigue, less choice fatigue. What do I do? Simple things, simple choices, fast and easy decisions. Back then it was more cluttering, a lot of necessary visibility through ads and marketing in order to attract attention, right? We still
Yeah.
live in the attention economy, don't get me wrong, but I do see a different type of attention.
Yeah, that's true. And I would double down on what you said. That people are no longer that deep into the tech because everyone is okay. It's so old that it should work already. I don't should care about anymore about what's behind, and I think that's progress and that's natural. Now, I know that you guys had a big update at WAM, and I tested the platform. It worked great. So I'm very curious to see how you guys evolve from here. But before we dive into, can you tell us a bit about what's the niche that WAM is focusing? Because games are like any other subject, a big, wide subject. What is that part of the game industry you guys are focusing on as WAM?
Shit, I have to spill the alpha here.
Only if you want, but that's my job here.
So first, we had a huge update that we've been working towards for a few years now, but we had to revamp it over and over. And one of the reasons for this was that some parts of the technology were not ready. And secondly, AI was not that capable. When the technology, underlying technology was ready, plus AI came in to help, like really visible help, things started happening. And this is why we introduced WAM token as gas fees, right? This is how we see capturing market value in the token directly, right? Now, we had a realization that our business is gaming events. The games themselves are, let's say, the pretext why we're on WAM. The reason we're there is you, Daniel, and me go in an event, play our balls off, flip each other off when we lose or win because it's fun. And we pick the event. Okay, we're going to play this game because we're all good at this or we like it. And the philosophy behind it was we started as a gaming platform because that's where we saw the biggest problem. But after user feedback, after seeing how things happen, we just had this realization that we are actually an events platform with games. And the events are the games, the tournaments and the seasons or the degen type of play. But the games themselves, let's say, are a pretext for why you're there, and the events are the actual engaging format.
That's some pretty nice alpha over there, and I like it. I like it because I see that now that you're mentioning it, I see that in Warsaw as well. I mean, we do have we are not focused on gaming, obviously, but we do have a lot of leaderboards, a lot of competitions between players, and I think that's what makes it exciting, and that's what makes you feel like you're fighting for a bigger prize because you are actually with the leaderboard, not only by playing the game per se. But that's a nice alpha over there. And now you are keep saying that WAM as a gas token.
Yeah.
I will ask something here that I've always talking about on timelines. How much do you think it in having a token? How much do you think it impacted the business versus it helped the business? Because now you're using the token, so that's good. That's an advantage.
So let me get this straight. How much does having a token affect the business? A lot. So, and this is the part that we had to learn in the past 2, 3 years. How exactly does it impact the business? Right? If you've been in crypto from 2015, this knowledge would have been already available, but we weren't, because we entered at the end of 2021 when the market was fucking high, and then it went to shit. Thank you, Jane Street. Up yours for all the manipulation. Just parenthesis, and it affects the business in a way that basically you have two businesses, right? So you have the token, you have the operations related to the token, you have the management of it, and you also have the user psychology and behavior of how they are actually relating to this asset. And the bear market actually showed us when people have a liquid asset, they will sell it. It's not no big math there, right? At the same time, when there's opportunity, people are gonna actually follow the opportunity. Now, there's no doubt in my mind, and I'm pretty sure not in your mind as well, that tokenized assets they're not even the future, they're actually the present. Everybody's going towards that. It makes a lot of sense. And we, as well as you guys, we decided to actually push towards the tokenized version of our business, which is the token, right? And now the main challenge and the main quest and the main objective for us is to do whatever it takes to accrue value to the token in the most natural, organic way, with the help of the community, of course. Why? Because this way everybody wins and it's transparent. What does that mean, everybody wins? Well, it's pretty much fucking simple. If you're a holder of the token, and this is you cannot be lower than this, it's gonna go up. Why? Because our job is to bring users that play and use the token, for instance, for gas fees. These gas fees have to be paid in order to participate in WAM events. We already have more WAM gas fee collected in the past 10 days since we launched than a lot of $1 billion chains today that have $5 in revenue. This is another alpha.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I didn't. I was thinking about something with these chains, but that's another topic for another discussion at the bit. But it's good to hear that the gas fee module is working, because hey, it's a new tech. I don't think that last year we had this available on Chronos, but now we have. And as I said, I think you are the first one and the only one that is leveraging it so far, which I'm excited. My question to follow up on this was what do you think was the hardest challenges so far building a sustainable? Because we also let me give you an example. We also Axie. I mean, Axie, I think it's the most famous game that also faced the bear market when the token went to dump. No one, I mean, not that 90% of people left the game. What's the challenges in building a sustainable gaming ecosystem with a token?
First of all, is their assumptions, right? One of the assumptions that we made, and then that we were, let's say, wrongly influenced because of so many opinions. Everybody has opinions, and especially when liquidity is involved. And one of that was, okay, you have to cut very small pieces of profit and just be very tidy, because fuck knows what the reason was. And we talked about this, and the conclusion was you cannot build a sustainable business with slim margins. What you can build is, with the proper margin, you can do the share with the community. This is what you can build, and this is actually healthy. And this is how you build a sustainable business. Okay, it's transparent. Fees are this much. Consumables cost this much. Revenue from consumables goes 50% back into the community, into the token. This is visible on chain. What else? So everybody now has a growth mechanism, and of course, we're constantly taking feedback and working on improving what exists and what needs to be done next. But this is how I personally see you build a sustainable business in what we're doing right now, with the token included. This was the idea behind using the WAM token as gas fee.
Mm-hmm.
taking the focus of, okay, I need to accumulate WAM in order to sell it, to I'm actually needing the WAM token in order to do whatever type of transaction with the smart account that we have.
And that's a good piece of alpha as well with the smart account, because that removes the friction of clicking the approval and the sign button in the wallet, right? Am I right?
Yes.
That's, I think that's the direction where crypto is going, and I love it. Now, can you tell us a bit more about the games that are right now available on WAM, and what can community go and play right now?
So we have 33 games. We have not added more because it's not the time. So these are simple games, catchy games that you play on your phone when you commute, when you look at the charts and you shit yourself or whatever, right? The purpose is to have fun in short bits and in an asynchronous way, at least today. What does that mean? The events are take a bit longer. We're going to make shorter events, longer events. It doesn't matter. And if you have the time now, you're going to go in and play for 15 minutes. Then 3 hours later, I'm going to join and play for 15 minutes. But we're all tied together with the leaderboard, and you guys have experience with that as well, right? So the idea was, okay, fast-paced games, simple enough for everybody to understand easily, playable on your phone, now on desktop as well, and in an asynchronous way that everybody can participate. If you're in a different time zone, but you really, really want to beat Daniel at a certain score at a whatever, you're going to do that in the leaderboard. So let me actually, as you can see, I'm not that much of a talker. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So in terms of, okay, like, can you see this? So this is, for instance, another game. This is one of my favorites. Don't ask me why. It's a simple game. It's an old game. I just like the adrenaline that it brings. Or, for instance, this one. Oh, blurry shit.
Man, do you know what remembers me? Do you know that game when we were kids that you had to catch beers with a beer box? Ah,
Where were you playing this?
man. But yeah, that's nice.
So simple games, right? That was the idea.
I think that's the best idea, because we have so many things complicated in life nowadays that when we are playing, we need it to be simple, because we want to defocus and disconnect about everything else. And hey, if you can earn something in the game, why not? And I think that's important there. Are there any tournaments right now live, or yes?
Yes, we have 3 tournaments, 1 casual season. We're going to do more in the following days and weeks. We have something special, by the way. This is important because you also have your community. We've integrated the swap with the wool swap, right? So this is one thing that everybody actually has to get excited about. Let me show you guys. Okay, if you did not have the time, so you see there. First of all, you see the pack, right?
Yes, sir. It's right there.
This is blurry. However, okay, you can see this is the swap that we have, and you can see the wool swap area. And one other thing, if you guys are also interested, is we have the wool swap theme. So everybody can actually get it from mystery boxes, or if you just happen to have like a huge liquidity in your wallet, just buy it. Don't be a cheap ass bastard.
Yeah, that's a cool version, because you're actually going into the direction where you can own your app. Basically, you can customize as you want.
Yeah.
Is this an idea that you want to follow up on?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, games are all about the experience that you have. That means being able to customize your environment, being able to own some assets, right? If you, what games did you play? Like digital games when you grew up?
Me, I was a big League of Legends, CS:GO,
Okay.
WoW. So
So CSGO, League of Legends, for instance, CSGO, you have the weapons, you have the skins, you have the uniform, the whatever, right? It's the same thing. Now, given that we are entering in the era of owning assets and having social signals ready for us, we do believe it's important for you as a user to be able to customize your experience, to own your experience, and to actually show others that you're fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And this is earned. This is actually earned type of awesomeness, right? So it's not shallow.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it gives you a good feeling of achievement when you can unlock something based on your performance. And that's where I know that you guys also have badges, quests, and all of these gamification stuff that brings a nice experience to the user.
Yeah. And we still have a lot to go on.
Oh, really? Okay, can you tell us 3 alphas that are coming to WAM in the next period of time?
Yes. Shit. Have to tell them. The main thing that we want to actually improve on the user experience is to remove the necessity of being on Kronos chain when you first make your account and when you want to deposit assets. This should not matter. And we've seen the feedback. A lot of people from our community had not yet had the chance to interact with Kronos and had a bit of difficulty in actually doing the steps, right? And given that now we have the bridging technology that can be used seamlessly, we can offer it like it does not matter. You deposit funds from BNB chain, you deposit funds from Abstract in your smart account with auto bridging, and you can use the assets in your smart account. When you want to go out, when you want to withdraw, again, you select the destination chain, you select the asset that you want to withdraw in, and boom, you don't have to juggle through different swaps or be very anxious that you might make a mistake that sends the funds somewhere else. So you can see a lot of lag, right? So this is the main thing that we want to bring. And by the way, this is the biggest opportunity. If you ask me, of course, I'm biased, but if you ask me, this is one of the biggest opportunities for Kronos right now. When we get this right, this is a growth flywheel, growth engine that can bring huge amounts of liquidity to Kronos from different chains in a natural, organic way. So this is not like a forced funnel, like you have to do this because of that. No, you just deposit because you want to play. Now, the second alpha is we're going to be focusing more heavily on diversifying the types of events that we have. Right now, the events might feel a bit linear because we wanted to see, okay, now in this new version, what do our users say? And we got the feedback, and this is how we got to the conclusion that, wait, actually the content that we have and the content that is important are the games events. You can have like, I don't know, throw the pickle or whatever type of game. If we play it as a group of friends, then it's important to us and then it's fun. And if you do it as a community with stakes, and then you can actually see even more progression, like on a ladder, not the leaderboard. The leaderboard is one thing, but let's say stepped events, right? The phase 1 of the event, phase 2 of the event, phase 3. This is another alpha, right? So these are all ideas. A lot of them we actually got from members from the community. And one guy, bless his heart, sent us like 3 long pages of ideas and arrows, and they were quite interesting to look at. And this is what we're doing in the next period. Plus, we're going to update the iOS and Android apps after we nail everything right and we have eliminated most of the bugs that are annoying. This is a huge ass system. And it has a lot of moving parts. And with each feedback that we get, we improve it. And we're, as I said, we're focusing on events and bridging a lot of chains to Kronos. This is important. Can you see what I'm actually blabbering about, the opportunity of bringing liquidity from different chains in a seamless way to Kronos? Do you see why this can happen easily?
Yeah, obviously. And I think, as you said, it's organic is the best, especially this year where incentives run dry out at the point. So having a natural funnel is the best. And I want to double down here, saying that Chronos network can grow by its builders. So the next update from the leadership, as we all know, they are going through a rebrand, reskin now to Chronos app being the focal focus. But I do believe that having them focus on that, making that a fucking success that everyone would know about, and having us builders on the chain, bringing new people because the Chronos app success will bring liquidity, volume, and all of that. We can double down, and as you said, bring organic ways to bring liquidity. I think that would be a perfect combo, and I think WAM is positioned really well in this.
Well, time will tell. Our job is to make the proper effort, to have friends like you and other people in the community to push towards a common goal. I'm very excited, for instance, that Ryan was in games. That means he understands what the fuck at least we're trying to do, right?
Yeah.
But we actually achieved quite a few things in the past few years. And mind you, if I know this is a conversation, but again, we still can do the exercise. If the bear market would have been delayed 6 months, we would have been the top crypto gaming app in the world, and we're still gonna be there. Just remember that now we're gonna be there on Chronos, and the main objective is to actually let people experience crypto in a seamless way. The fact that we are building on Chronos excites Chronos fans, but some guy that wants to play in events has no such initial attachment, but they can have it. They can later on. I'm thinking of giving them the ability of creating a Chronos account directly from WAM, or using their Chronos card directly on WAM, or using the rewards they're getting in different Chronos communities. We circle between us in terms of benefits and in terms of perks, so everybody wins in multiple ways. This way, I'm going to use a term that you guys already have a product on. We amplify shit, and that's the idea behind it.
That's nice. And yeah, funny that you mentioned Amplify because I think it can serve very well now. As an alpha, we're gonna have a partnership together for a nice game season there. So that's gonna be interesting, and obviously we're gonna use Amplify to amplify that as much as you can. We are now entering in the final 10 minutes, and now I want to make an much more casual conversation. We went through the serious topics, and I want to ask you from a friend to friend now. What do you think can make Kronos better than it is today? In a very casual way, because I think people are bored about the old corporate language. I mean, what do you think Kronos needs today to grow more from here? And just to make life easier, I will say first, I think that we still have fragmented liquidity. Still think that we need more bridges, but your way actually works way better. And you already gave me some ideas. How can we make more organic bridging for users that will help everyone? But what do you think from your perspective, from a gaming founder perspective, what do you think could be more today on Kronos?
Okay, let me ask you this. So let's have a frank conversation. When you say what can Chronos do better, my first question is for whom?
For the chain. I do strong believe that if the chain grows, they don't have to help me, you, or any other one.
Okay.
We can help each other by having the chain grow.
Okay. So when you say about growing the chain, you're actually thinking about daily active wallets and transactions.
That can be one or two metrics, yes.
Okay. Well, one thing that comes to mind when it comes to, okay, what can Chronos do better and how can they position themselves differently than other people, is not being fucking assholes. Number one. Number two, actually understanding that this is a fucking partnership. I've seen in the past 5 years so many pissing contests and ego battles. We've seen it, for instance. Let me give you the negative alpha. We were the top gaming app on BNB chain,
But that's positive. I
and we were constantly undermined because I'm no fucking Chinese. We got where do I know this from? From the fucking people that handled us directly. And okay, you're not gonna do anything with your topmost projects, and we were legit. Like we were doxed from the beginning. I don't understand the concept of not being doxed as a business person. Secondly, we achieved 10 times more results with 10 times less budget than our competition, right? So these should matter in terms of, okay, vision. So now we come to the point where we talk about the vision. How do we grow? Well, we have to keep some people that are interested and excited about building and using the technology. And we've seen with a lot of chains, I'm not going to mention their name, but there are a lot of chains, and chains are people, right? So the chains are not abstract concepts like they talk with themselves on Telegram. These are people that are employed in order to do business development, in order to do evangelism and whatnot, to bring people to use the technology. If the team that handles this treats it with arrogance, treats it with you have to do this, you either take it or leave it. Well, guess what? In today's world, 99% we're going to leave it. And this happened. And you can see a lot of dead chains. And one of the main reasons for this is exactly this type of attitude. Because you have options, number one. Number two, you actually want to feel that the support is real. Of course, I understand. Look, I'm not insane. I understand the other perspective, right? How many times did they hear founders, so-called founders, that they want to build something amazing and exciting on the chain just to do a quick liquidity grab and run? I understand that as well, but I don't give a fuck. Why? Because my past results speak for themselves. So do yours, right? And so do a lot of other people's. So when we eliminate that type of rhetoric, like we're not going to be attentive to developers because most of them suck. No, if you want to do this, then it's a clean shot of messing things up. So this is how, to come back to your original question, how Kronos can actually win at this game. Make it a real partnership between the people that have a vision on your technology and yourself, because you're the main capital driver. You have the capital, you have the best visibility in the market, and a platform like Kronos Chain is only valuable when the total amount of value that is being created and extracted, not extracted in a good way, not extracted in the literal definition, is bigger than the platform itself. Think of Google, right? How much business is done at Google level versus how much the platform is worth. So the platform is worth less than the business done on top of it. And that makes it sustainable, right? If it's the other way around, it makes no sense for nobody. This is not a platform. This is a ceiling. And when you hit the ceiling, you go down. If it's a platform and you build on it, of course, the created value is bigger than the platform itself. But the platform makes a lot of money and makes a lot of people want to use the technology. And this is how I see in terms of
Yeah, definitely. That's a good way to position it. My always response to this type of question was that the chain is a city. We are building businesses in the city, and if that city is growing, we are growing. So obviously, you, and builders have a direct interest in seeing Chronos succeed. That's why we are building on it. But also, as you said, having a partnership with them, it would me meant a lot, and not partnership in terms of hey, put me in the best spot ever. Nah, that's crap. That's 2021. Bring everything you can, put everything, and I think hey, we did not see yet, but I think Ryan with his experience is gonna do that.
Just let me give you an example regarding the exact how you should treat people. You have seen the hype that happened with um, Cloudbot, right?
Yeah,
In the past month and a half. Okay, so the natural tendency would have been, hey, this was Cloudbot. Claude is gonna fucking purchase this because it's mad. They built something amazing. That guy built something crazy, and all he got was potential lawsuits and threats, right? So what was the next thing that happened? Open AI made it OpenClaw,
Yeah.
and they bought the product, right? So it's a real time example of how things happen when you have a killer product, and the killer product happened. It was not live in November, right? So it happened pretty fast,
Yeah.
and they had the time to actually judge. And these are lessons, but of course, the Kronos leadership I've seen they have tons of experience. We're now chatting as friends, like what should happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm pretty sure they can understand, at least if they're watching this. Hi, if you're watching this, I'm pretty sure you're understanding exactly what we're talking about.
Definitely. I mean, everyone in everyone that have a reason and have a motive to see a chain growth can understand this. And yeah, I'm so happy we had this conversation between because hey, two builders on a chain wants to see the chain grow. Danny, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
An amazing discussion that we had. There are so many alphas shared here, and I want everyone to remind that partnership season will start with on WAM with World Swap. So there will be some fun game, there will be some prizes, there will be some rewards, obviously, because that's what makes games fun. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you very everyone for listening in. And Danny, if you have any final words, please go ahead.
Um, really grateful to be here. Grateful for you guys for introducing us to the community. So thank you for that as well. And see you on WAM. Join the tournaments that we're gonna make together, and be prepared for having a blast this year and what we're building. Both of our projects are doing amazing things, and I see a lot of potential in having Kronos builders pushing things together. Not it's not going to work always, but at least if the sincerity is there, the honesty is there in terms of what we want to do, amazing things will happen.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Danny. And now, Daniel, you can turn off the stream.